Hi guys, good evening. It's Wednesday. It's a new stream for us, episode 9, going live as we didn't used to go, but we're going to change the date and the day for our stream. Say hi guys, you're on the screen right now to everybody watching us. Um, it's a surprise. I hope people will join us. The fact is that we are going to do the streaming on Wednesday, I think. Is that okay with you guys?
Yep.
So Wednesday evenings, it's midweek. Everything that should happen already happened this week, I think. And then we also have some time for Friday nights free for us and for everybody, and everybody could enjoy the weekend and your local games and everything. Um, what we're going to talk about? Let me just share the stream to friends and foes so that people know we're going live and we went live. What we're going to talk about today is actually structured around what we found out on Sunday evening stream from Battlefront, from Pete and Phil. Chris, sorry. I always say Phil instead of Chris. I don't know why.
I might look like a Phil.
Yeah, you might. And then we're going to talk about. We're going to go a little bit deeper into German lists and how you can play German lists at tournaments and what's the best combination as I see it, and as my two dear friends see the Germans playing in tournaments. Basically, I've been busy. I will just start with myself, guys, if you don't mind. I've been very busy with building my British Army, with assembling my carriers, my Churchills, and all of those. Currently waiting to see if Dan, my good friend, could lend me some motor platoon guys, because I like infantry at the moment, because I didn't thought that I will use infantry with my British force, but hey, you need some infantry there. And I just hope he will find some models to share with me. And then after that, it's up to painting. I just have one more box of carriers to assemble and one box of Churchills, and then I'm set. And also, this is like an announcement. We'll be doing together with my two friends. I will start painting guide, let's say, until my dear friends get some better cameras to show off their skills. They will just have to lead me into painting my British Army. I was just about to buy some painting sets today myself, doing a visit at the local hobby shop, but yeah, friends didn't answer in time, so basically I had to leave with two Thunderbolts. That's it. And I want to see Lud's article on his raisin bases.
Yeah, it's no, there's not going to be any article on resin bases. It's they were built from foam, actually,
Okay.
from scratch. But that is I had to move it to next week.
No problem.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to
I
leave it
won't.
in for Alex next week.
All right. I,
Next Monday, so they can do the QA properly,
all
and
right.
then I don't know when they're gonna publish it, but
Yeah, don't
let's
worry.
hope so.
I won't start painting infantry overnight. So what I plan to do actually, it's do resin bases. So with like you have in your that's the rice fields, right?
Yeah,
And I want to do some raisin bases with British guys landing on the beach of Normandy, and I hope you'll be guiding me through everything, and this will be some interesting stream for people to watch. And yeah, this is what I've been doing into the hobby thing. Otherwise, life has been busy. I'm waiting to see if borders will open. It's very likely that they won't. So probably the July tournament in Serbia will be off for me, and that's a pity. But yeah, you know, when government has some money to spend, still, they would like to have the country closed just to be able to spend money with ease and no problem. So, guys, what you've been up to? What did you do lately?
Well, since I got the bases done last weekend, I haven't done much. I built some. I sub-assembled some mortar half tracks for the U.S. And today, after work and the usual home stuff, cooking, so on, I managed to find time to prime them. Well, so did some priming just a few minutes ago. That's done. So
Nice.
hopefully I'll be able to get some painting done this weekend. Let's see. And yeah, otherwise nothing special hobby-wise. Well, I got some. I picked up a cool. It's in the other end of the room, but I picked up the old British early war armored regiment with the 22 early war tanks,
All
the
right.
old resin ones.
Nice.
So I'll be trying to paint the counter scheme at some point.
Let me know if you need some backup for it, right?
Yeah, yeah, you did some beautiful stuff with them. And yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
not really much going on otherwise. Just
So we have
usual.
people on the chat. That's really nice. Hello, guys.
Cool.
Hello, George. George is one of my good friends. Not doing any hobby works at the moment, but hopefully he will join us.
Hi, Patrick. Hi, Scott.
Good to have you. Good to have you guys with us, and hope you'll enjoy the stream. Sorry, Lud, for interrupting
No
you.
worries. I missed it completely. I had a
Yeah, we have people
different
watching
page
us.
up, so.
Yes, yes. So carry on. So you're planning to do a British Army also?
Yes, I'll be doing a British Army maybe later on. I've got some commandos.
Nice.
Could be cool. I'll try to do a force themed around a less known campaign, the Walcheren Liberation,
Nice.
which made it possible for the Allies to use the port of Antwerp.
It's the
on
Scheldt.
the Western
Yeah.
Front. Yeah, it was an interesting op because you had it's game wise it's a British list, but it was actually the Inter-Allied Commando which was in the first wave. So you had a troop of Norwegian commandos, and they were relieved by Belgian commandos.
Nice.
So it's going to be fun to and what I've found in my research, they actually were able to unofficially show their like nationality on the uniforms and so on. So it'll be a fun thing to build around. However, I will have to adapt it to the game as it is right now, as we don't have any buffaloes and so on for now.
Yeah, exactly.
So it'll be a lot of avrays. Maybe what I was thinking about, maybe do a commando troop supported by a breaching group and some typhoons. That would kind of like reflect the actual force attacking the Hanover Island.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the Scheldt. It's a it's actually an island quite a bit away from Antwerp.
Yeah.
But after
a peninsula, right?
Yeah, the Allies had already liberated Antwerp, but this coastal region was still in the hands of the Germans. And the river is quite wide, and since the mouth of the river was also in German hands, it took some special effort, so to speak.
All right.
It's an interesting. I recommend looking it up. It's an interesting campaign within a campaign.
Cool. Christian, you what have you been up to? I mean, I know you have the club open. Lud also played a game on Saturday, and you have to fill us in about that.
I forgot completely, but yeah, I had a game on Saturday with a good friend of mine. We played Americans against Brits, and sad to say to my friend, but I massacred his Sherman troop.
Yeah, we have to talk about that.
He forgot. Well, he didn't forget that I had M12s in ambush, but he wasn't expecting me to reveal it so soon, and it kind of just went downhill from there for him. But he actually he came back quite well during the last turns, but in the end, I broke his formation, and that was it.
Yeah. I've seen some pictures you've sent us, and I was like, "What is this guy doing with his Shermans in the middle of the road?" You know. And then and then chaos happened.
I mean, none of us have had a game for what 3-4 months now, so
exactly, we're rusty as hell.
We actually had like we had to look up rules and. Like really think about how are we doing this? Can we do it like this, or do we have to do it like that? But it was super fun. And hey, we got House of Hengist. Welcome to the stream.
Yes,
big
hello.
Big fan of your work. Big fan of your work.
Yeah, me too.
That is one YouTube channel you guys should check out.
Yeah, it's definitely a channel where I've got my interest into painting and also gaming. You know, I mean, I've been like mesmerized with two parts. I mean, House of Hengist does like a great job into mixing storytelling, and it's actually like a movie with miniatures. And you guys should definitely go check it out. Thank you, House of Hengist, for being with us, and I'm really looking forward into chatting with you about topics that we've talked in comments, like remote gaming and also like not only tournament games, but also this kind of
narrative games.
Narrative games, exactly, which are like. Sometimes you need this to survive between, you know, you're expecting a new book, you're a tournament player, and you're expecting a new book, and you have some time to burn, and you don't want to play your list against lists you've already played, and you can actually try something out with a narrative gameplay, where you test your armies in scenarios that you would like them. Like, for example, I would like to play 10 tigers, but playing 10 tigers in a tournament, it's not always a it's not always a winner.
our friend Alisher from the Russian team, he posted an interesting picture of a force he'd used at a local tournament in Moscow. It was tigers, 3 Hummels, and a platoon of 222s.
Yeah.
Apparently, he won the tournament with it. So.
Yeah, who knows?
But it's not a beginner's list, I tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no.
Exactly.
But those guys are experienced and they know what they are doing.
So hello, Patrick. Hello, Scott. Hello, Narcis, and everybody in the chat. Christian, well, I think we kind of interrupted you there. I mean,
It's all right. But it's known to all now that the ETC is unfortunately cancelled. So I said to myself, well,
It's
I'm staying
postponed.
in Denmark. Yeah, it's postponed. So for next year. But I'm staying in Denmark this year. So instead of spending money on flight tickets and hotel rooms and stuff in Luxembourg,
Yeah.
I went out and spent 350 euros on different hobby items.
Right. What do you
and,
do when you have spare money?
Yes. And in Denmark, we have a saying, the money is burning in the pocket, so I have to
Exactly.
spend them.
Exactly.
But I'm going to show a slight amount of all the stuff that I bought. But in particular, as I've talked about earlier in some of our shows, is that I'm a big fan of alternative model makers or alternative companies for
Yes.
15 mil.
Yes.
So with the new breaching group, if I'm gonna play a breaching group, obviously you can use the DD tanks, and Skytrix makes some, and I think I can't come up with the other company for it, but there are some companies that makes different conversion stuff.
The
But
big thing.
I went out for. I bought Forged in Battle models, which is actually quite nice. They are resin, and they make beautiful models. So I'm just gonna link here in the chat what I've just bought, and then I'm going to show on camera what it was that I bought. But I bought these. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a tiny German crab flail tank.
Nice.
And it's really nice, and there's amount of details on it, and storage and everything is so awesome.
I wanted to do something like that for my project.
Yeah, so I bought those, and I'm really looking forward to making them part of my force. I have the Battlefronts as well, but I was thinking I might not only use them as crab flail tanks, but also as tanks, just regular German tanks. Instead of DD tanks, then use these ones because I think it's a bit it fits the theme. And then I went out and I bought 2 boxes of this.
Yay, carriers.
Carriers. I bought 2 boxes of those because I have big plans for that. And then I bought this, and it's not only because we talked about Theo. I actually been thinking about it since it came out.
Course.
You've been talking about it on the Danish team.
It's actually a no-brainer that we are going to have carriers all over the tournament next year.
And then I bought some Stuarts because the ones I have is actually the Mark V, but this is the correct Stuart with the M3 turret that the British use. So I wanted it to be correct.
Right.
And,
I agree. I mean, I was just about to say, why didn't you buy the American box? Because they have 5. And then, yes, you're right. They are the M3s, I think, right? Not the M5s that the Americans have. But you could have used some mid-war, right?
Yeah. And then me and Ludi, we've been chatting about Green Stuff World. Makes a lot of awesome stuff.
Yeah.
So I went out and bought this, which is
masking putty.
Masking putty
is amazing.
Right. And it's instead of, let's say you want to make a German camel.
Yeah.
And I have both masking tape, which is also from Tamiya, I think. But this here makes it easy for you to design your own patterns, whereas masking tape
you have to cut a lot. Yeah, you have to cut a lot, and it's quite messy. I've tried masking tape also with airbrushing my Panzer IVs, and it took me half a day, and then the result was awful. Yeah, sorry.
And then I bought some I don't know if it's possible to see, but it's some very tiny vines.
Right.
That I'm gonna use for both houses and most likely also for some foliage, because me and Ludi have been talking about on the chat is that on the stream is that people tend to overdo it in 15 mil, and him and I are both veterans, and we know that you plaster the tank in as a Christmas tree in real life, but on a model it looks stupid. So I think that these vines are so tiny that it'll look good, and I'll post them later on, I think, on Rim to War Painting Group.
Nice.
And then I bought some very tiny. I think it's what
Bushes.
is it? Bushes, but it's more like
It's in TT
stinging
scale.
nettles, and yeah, different kinds of
What
vegetation.
scale are they in?
Are they TT or other scale?
I think they are so tiny. Like I think it's 100, 1 to 100, or 1 to
So it's
140.
like is that railroad stuff?
Yeah, it's rock from what
It
I've
would be
seen.
H
Yeah,
scale.
no, yeah,
It
H
depends because
scale. Okay.
TT from what I know, it's smaller than 100.
yeah. But
But
I'll try it out, and then maybe I can use them as a, let's say, for I also have an arm army like Ludi, and I might maybe use them there as branches and undergrowth and stuff. And then I bought some tiny bricks
Bricks. Yeah.
use for rubble and make some urban bases and different stuff. Some Green Stuff World model tools because
Christian, are you going to show us 360 worth
no,
of
no,
your...
no. I'm just gonna show this because I said I want to make some more foliage and storage for my tanks, and my old kit was just regular hobby knives and hobby stuff. So I bought these ones in silicone. So hopefully I'll be able to make it even better now. So that's
Right.
pretty much it. Then I were in the club gaming last Friday. So
How was it? Did you manage to play any Flames of War?
it was fold action night. So I had a game of fold action.
Oh, that's good. You had a game. You had some dice rolling. That's really nice.
So that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, 300. Scott says it's 300 euros worth of investment. Yeah, probably he went crazy with spending all those money, and I feel him from a point of view. I mean, I've done an add up to all the daily deals I've bought, and it's about 200 euros or something around there. So basically, I fully understand this. I mean, I've been chatting myself like with my girlfriend, and I was like, what are we going to do this summer? We can't go anywhere. We have to do something with the money, you know. It's not like
you can't save it.
Yeah, burning in the pockets.
exactly.
By the
Guys,
way, Christian, for your and why not Theodore for you? I'll
yes.
post it in the chat for you guys. It's S&S models. They make really cool like
Conversion
add-on
kits.
for let's say Avrays and so on. You've got bridges, you've got stowage, then you have this massive stick
Machine.
yeah. There's some really cool parts to maybe take a look of.
Exactly.
But they only fit for a plastic soldier company, so you cannot put them on Battlefront.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
I see Soren. It's in the chat with us, and he says we should go to Iceland. And yeah, Iceland. It's definitely on for me. I mean, Lud sold it. Yeah. Really, sold it really nice to us a couple of streams ago, and we're in for Iceland for sure. Soren, I want to congratulate you on your article on Breakthrough Assault on IS2's company. Yeah, I mean, we're having community contributing to on every page and web page available, and that's really nice. And I really liked your article, and it's a gameplay. It's something that people look to see. I mean, they are eager to see. Although the army you faced was actually a pretty balanced one, and I mean, you faced Sherman, I think Sherman with the mortar platoons.
I'll look up the article right now.
I think so.
Yeah, I've got it up now.
Something like that. something like that. Yeah, the Shermans. Yeah, and your list was pretty good. I mean, your opponents or your list. I can't remember if you played the IS2s or not, but you cannot play against IS2s without at least 2 Achilles in your formation.
He's got 3.
No, he has 3
4.
Fireflies, 3 Fireflies, and 1 Achilles.
A platoon of 4 Achilles.
Yeah, but I say 2 platoons of Achilles.
Ah, okay.
And then maybe some 17-pounders between them.
Yeah.
Might be tough to make him fit.
Yeah. Otherwise, it was previsible, I think. I mean, the IS2 list, as Christian also told us, I think in the first or second stream we had, and you revealed us. I mean, Battlefront just did their first stream with Pete, and they revealed the IS2 points and everything. And you, Christian, went home and played the game until everything.
5.
Yeah, and you told us that hey, IS2s are really powerful. Yeah, exactly, Soren. It's a normal list against IS2s, and IS2s actually, yeah, they go to town with with them. I would say, for example, we are going to talk about the German list in this stream, and I say the German Fortress of Europe lists are the answer. Guys, if we already mentioned about the first stream that Battlefront had on Twitch, we had the second stream this Sunday. I really liked it. I've been active on the chat. I've asked questions and they really answered them, and that was like a big thing. I didn't manage to see the ISU points because the camera was flipped, and I didn't go back to Twitch and download the video and unflip it. But
the organization chart or what?
YouTube.
What? Sorry,
it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. So if you want to check out the organization chart, they flashed.
All right. No, I didn't check it. If you guys have it, just share it with us. And what can I say is like I was right, I told you guys that we are going to have SS in August and Soviets in September. It's like I knew. Although I'm afraid we're going to add 1 more month to the actual release of these books, because it's already mid-June already, and they are still like waking up from everything.
Yeah, but I really like the direction that they're taking at Battlefront, being more open towards the community and listening to them, and especially also I like the fact that Peter said, we make the models, you have the hobby.
Yeah.
So, for instance, when people are talking about when are you gonna set a time limit on Team Yankee, or you could imagine in Flames of War, when are you gonna set some erratas or something like that for the Russian or German list or whatever. But they make the game, and we have the hobby. So if you want to run a tournament red on blue or blue on blue, it's up to you.
Exactly, and
I really like that.
I really like their approach, and they were like they're becoming much more friendly towards the community. I mean, I know that in version 3, for example, the guys at the club, I was new in the game. I didn't know much about the tabletop hobby, and I was just learning about tournaments and this. About Battlefront and about Games Workshop and about other game publishers, and about what it takes to build a game, a set of rules, and to produce miniatures and all of that. And they were quite stiff, I could say. I mean, you would ask for changes, and they were like reluctant or something that never happened. And then they switched to version 4, and I've seen that. I mean, version 4, it's lighter than version 3. It lets you
more arcade-like, yeah.
It lets you. I mean, you can just see it from the size of the rulebook compared to the old version 3 rulebook. it's uncomparable, you know. And from that, I felt that the company relaxed a little, and they turned towards the community, and they simplified the game, and they went with this approach to changing their models and having new models. It's like having a new game actually. You know, although you still have some core rules for version 2 or version 3 carrying on to version 4, now it's like version 4, it's a new game. Battlefront feels like a new company or a revitalized company that is keeps keeps going to the fan base, to the players, and seeing what they like and what they don't like. And then, I mean, I'm not a big Team Yankee, but switching
No.
from Team Yankee fan, but switching from Team Yankee to World War III, and World War III being more into the same alignment with core version 4 rules for Flames of War, actually makes me want to try, you know, World War
Yeah.
III and see how it goes and give it a try. And also, I've seen a drop in their prices and in their bundles and in their army deals, and they are more appealing to new players, and that's a good thing. It's a good job for them. Now we have the release dates of these books. Lud, I think you're very happy to have found out that your fins are going to come in November, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's going to be fun to make. I bet I'm going to be of another opinion when I've painted all that gray uniform color and so much infantry.
Yeah,
But yeah, to be honest, I can't wait. It's uh, it's
they've
it's my country's defense force to be able to make a cool force of it. It'll be fun. I just I'm having a hard time to decide what units I will actually represent with with them. Okay, I have enough to make a few formations. It's most likely going to be one of those projects where you do everything you could
yeah.
put on the menu. So there's going to be a lot of work with that. But yeah, I mean, there's a there's a ton of stuff to look at. So
Yeah, it's
maybe
great.
get
I,
myself in the mood and watch a few movies again.
you can do that. Actually, what I've been a little bit surprised is that initially I thought that they are going to have a late war version for the Finns also
Yeah, it's coming later
with the
with the
Allies.
Axis Allies book.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
So
that's going to be the book with Romanians, Hungarians, and something other as well. I can't remember all what the thing was on
Bulgaria,
top
I
of my
think
head, but
also.
yeah, it's going to be like a bigger book for all the Axis allies for late war.
yeah, that's a good thing. We don't have an actual time for that, and that concerns me in a certain way. But I mean, we were expecting Axis allies last year from what happened, but then it got postponed to this year, and of course this year is postponed because hey, we had COVID
Yeah,
and all the mess.
but I
Uh,
mean,
I hope they will.
it's
I hope they will focus on that because it was something that I really enjoyed playing like having a little bit of diversity into choosing your country, you know, and also for the ETC rules, it was very good having another nation to field your force from.
mm,
I think that they will I hope at least, I mean, I don't think, I hope they will have it in time and in time for the next ATC. I was
Eh,
really disappointed with the fact that we won't have an US book. So the US Bulge book will probably come in June or July, as they said, next year, and that upsets me a lot.
Yeah.
well, it
But
will come in time for the ETC next year.
I
So
doubted. I mean, yeah.
Let's
but
give them a chance.
but
Yeah,
the problem with all the smaller forces on the Eastern Front for Battlefront as a company is that the molds that they use for their plastic miniatures are so expensive, and especially with the new kind of plastic that they use.
exactly. Yeah, I
So
understand it.
I don't know if we're gonna see that big of a variety for like Srini lists or different
You need
locally
to.
produced armor or certain kinds of guns and stuff. I think it's gonna be more generic, where they can use German issued equipment with, let's say, Bulgarian
Exactly.
special rules and stuff like that.
Exactly. If you look actually, you already have, for example, the AM10s and the Achilles. They're releasing an Achilles British box set, but you can have the Achilles built from the current M10 US, as I've shown you guys with the magnetized thing with the barrels and everything. And yeah, I understand this. It's a business. They have to sell models. They have to sell kits. House of Agnes is saying that agrees with me that version 4 it's a new game actually compared to what we had before. What I hope they will not do, and I hope they will continue. I think people actually asked in the chat also, have some support. I mean, give some support to players that want to play early war games or mid-war version 3 games, where you would want to have, for example, French tank, or you will want to have some other resin models they used to have, and they already have. I mean, I've bought mobile wagons and they're resin. I've bought the US anti-aircraft and they're resin. All these kits, I think they should keep some resin models, and they should not reinvent the wheel, as some people say. Okay, it's good that they come with new toys and new gears to these generic armies, and now that they have that agreement with
World of
Wargaming,
Tanks.
yeah, World of
Yeah.
Tanks with Wargaming, it's a good thing. But I agree with the folks that lean towards historical accurate gameplay of Flames of War. I mean, for me, Flames of War was a really accurate, historical accurate game in version 3. It wasn't 100%, of course, but I could have like fielded almost any unit in the Romanian arsenal in World War
Yeah.
II. So,
But the thing is, Theo, you could, if you want to go down that path, there are other games like Chain of Command, or you could do like House of Hengist does with the different command cards or game cards with certain scenarios or events that are happening during a game. If you want to make it ultra realistic, as again they said, it's your hobby. So if you want to do simulation, Flames of War is not your game. But if you want to have a game with beer and pretzels and it's easy for everybody to play, hard to master, easy to learn, then Flames of War is for you. And I actually like it because we've been running boot camps at my club 2 years back, and or was it 2? Yeah, 2 years right before version 4 came out, I think.
yep.
And it was horrible to teach them
explain.
how to do an assault, because it was almost like a kind of mini game or puzzle inside of the main game.
It was
And
another
if you
game.
didn't know the rules, you could be completely wiped as a noob if you
Yeah.
didn't know how to deploy or counter attack or stuff like that. So let's not go into V3 versus V4, but in general now it's running and they're producing stuff and people are enjoying it. And the old guards, such as us, they don't earn money on us.
Yeah.
They want to have new players, and that's why I think it's a good idea they went into.
We want to have new players into the game to kick their asses.
I mean, I think Battlefront knows that they don't have to. They every now and then they have to. It's a good idea to give us some candy, but whatever they do, we're still gonna be there. So. I mean,
Yeah,
Yes, but it depends actually, because at a point people will, especially in small communities like we have here in Romania, people suffer from a kind of burnout. You know, I mean, they've been playing Flames of War for a lot of time with same people, and it's hard actually. We know. I mean, we started with no kids at a point, and then we had kids on the way, and then it became harder to be able to meet with pals and have games, and it's exactly the same as it happened with the World of Warcraft. In World of Warcraft, you had to farm for like 2 or 3 days to get your gear. Now you just go into a queue, you just random queue, and in 15 minutes you probably have your gear. It's designed for people who grow up and who suddenly have less time to play and have less time to waste on understanding rules and learning how to play things. And I think this approach, it's based on the entire society actually. It's good. For me, having to spend less time in learning new things, it's best. I don't say it's the same quality. You don't get the same satisfaction for having a game or for winning a game that requires you to be focused for 4 hours or 5 hours, than just to go have a blast for an hour and a half and then that's it. What are you going to do now?
But I've actually been thinking about that when we're gonna. I'm the TO of MidCon in October in Denmark. I was thinking about at the tournament itself. There's obviously Age of Sigmar and 40K and the major games, and then we also have a Flames of War tournament there, which is among 16 to 20 players. And I see that a lot of people are coming over. Yeah, and one Finn is coming as well. And probably a guy from Iceland.
You just dropped me the date, and I might be joining in also.
Yeah, but the thing is,
we have money to spend, my friend.
Yeah, but as I'm trying to say is that a lot of people come over and look at the games, and it's interesting, and especially because our tables are high quality and really well made and looks realistic with attention to detail. So I was thinking about at the tournament, when the last game finished in the evening, people are just hanging out and drinking beer. I was thinking about making like an introduction game and asking people if they could lend their armies out, and then some of the 40K guys or Age of Sigmar guys can come over and try it, because everybody starts in sci-fi games, and we need the sci-fi games to draw in people to play historical games.
Yeah, for me it was history that brought me to Flames of War. It wasn't sci-fi things, because it's been. It's not. I'm not a big fan of Star Wars or this kind of story. Yeah, I was more into like Band of Brothers and Battlefield 1, or I don't know which one was it, and then. Yeah, it's what you feel like. But I agree with you. You could have people joining in from 40K or from sci-fi game models and join us with us. I would like Battlefront to try and not go that much into easing up the game or make it as simple as possible for everybody to understand. For example, for me, I know that the biggest downside I had was when I knew that they were going to use a generic thing called Panther, and they're not going to use Panther A, Panther H, Panther J, or whatever acronyms for the Panther there were in history, And I was like, very fond of that, because I was playing World of Tanks at that point, and I already knew how tanks looked, and I really liked them, and I was doing some research in how the Panther evolved as a tank, for the production, how they started to build it, trying to copy what they did with the T-34, and how it came out. Then the filters didn't work, and then they had to use a bigger engine, and then when they used a bigger engine, the transmission didn't fit the bigger engine and all that.
The road wheels were
And
interlocked and stuff like that.
Exactly, and all those things actually appealed to me, and they were pretty much interesting. And when I found out that Battlefront is going to name Panthers, and that's it, in version 4, or Panzer 4, and that's it, Panzer 4. You don't have any other, letters after that and acronyms.
Models,
And then I understood. Okay, now that I'm playing the game, I'm okay with that. I mean, for example, we already talked in this show today about the difference between the English stewards and the American stewards. So, M5s and M3s, but they are just called stewards now, from what I know. And then this is,
But we'll see. The thing is, I think that a lot of ex-military guys across the world are into Flames of War and Second World War stuff. But I also think that the newer generation, the PlayStation generation, 14, 15-year-old kids, don't get drawn into World War II. They are more keen on sci-fi or fantasy stuff. They grew up with Lord of the Rings and what do I know, World of Warcraft, as you talked about. So it's more relatable to them. So when I see them at tournaments looking at our stuff, I want to say, hey, come over and you can try it and see what it's like, because it's actually a fun game.
Exactly. We shall see how things go and how things develop. Anything else that draw your ears and eyes on Battlefront stream? And you want to talk about?
Not really. I mean, it was the stream was pretty much what I expected, to be honest. There wasn't any I was a bit sad that there wasn't really that much talk of Checkpoint Charlie, which would be like Team Yankee early war.
Yeah.
Because but what I've got a small project in mind for that. But what's really cool is that they talked about the Bush Wars book or booklet that might come. I've already been planning and actually discussing with the contact in South Africa to do an SADF force at some point, because it could be done with models that already exist.
All right.
From Battlefront and, for example, Peter Pig, who makes South African Defense Forces troops already.
Whoa, nice.
But you could do some really cool stuff. Then there was GHQ Models, who makes 15 mil Bush Wars vehicles, which is Hi Petar, which is quite cool. But the Checkpoint Charlie thing, I would have maybe wanted to hear a bit more about.
More details.
But then again, they gave us quite a lot of info already, and I think it's also good to keep some of the stuff to yourself and go public with it when it's appropriate.
Exactly.
To do so.
Christian.
And, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We have some guys. Lou, do you wanted to say something else? Sorry for interrupting you.
No. Go ahead.
The guys in the chat ask you about.
Yeah, I was replying on a message.
Oh,
but
right.
It's okay. I'll just tell you here in the stream. The thing is, the amount of people in Denmark that are allowed to be together in one place, with all the rules about social distancing and sneezing and stuff like that, it's turned up to 50 people now. But at the event, normally we are around 200 players, so we've been a bit reluctant towards doing too much advertising about it, because if it's not going to be anything, it's a waste of effort. So I think that in July, start of August, we'll start to do some advertising, and I'll have some more info about it. But it's literally going to be the same set of rules and the same event and the same things that are going to be played there as it was supposed to be in the spring in March. So it's going to be 100-point late war, and I think until the 15th of September, every book until the 15th of September will be allowed to be used in late war.
So it's in September now.
No, it's in October.
October.
But the thing is, I'm saying that for people to be able to make an army or prepare, because there's you have to have entire army, you have to have your entire army painted. So I'm saying that until the 15th of September, if there's a new book coming out, let's say on the 20th of September, they cannot use it. So
right.
the deadline is 15th of September. I think perhaps 20th for people, because it would be stupid if, let's say, a new player bought a new book and he's supposed to make an army in 5 days. It's impossible. And I have to check the lists through and see if they are legal and everything. So it's going to be, I think, on the 15th of September.
Yeah, Scott is saying that he wants to say just don't book your flights yet.
yeah. So you're right, Scott.
That's a touche for you. Yeah, well, guys, for me, the stream was good. It got some information to me. As Lud, also, I would have liked more details on that. But overall, we found some answers to our questions. I've liked Pete that he came with 2 pages or 5 pages of questions already answered, and they answered the questions in the chat, and I think everything went smooth with that. Yeah, and I'm actually looking forward to them starting the Big Four series again. Thank you, House of Hengis, for joining us. No problem. Take care. Yep.
See you again.
Yep.
Ciao.
Hopefully you'll be able to join the stream with us and also chat along. Maybe we can get you on Skype and have you around sharing some historical gaming with us.
His wisdom.
Yes. Guys, I think we should go to the next part of our stream. I know we didn't make any agenda public, and probably at a point we will start doing that, because that should be something very interesting. And that is showing you guys, talking about with you, my friends, and with the guys in the chat also, about what do you think about the current German lists, German books. We have 3 books. I could say, I mean, it's 2 books and a leaflet. We have for the late war for Germans, we have Fortress of Europe Germans, we have D-Day Germans, and we have 21st Division Germans. I want to ask you guys, how do you find, and which formations do you find suited for either attacking, maneuvering, or defending with, from your current experience and from the lists you've built until now? And you guys can share with us some ideas. I have some ideas myself, and I will try to fill up if you guys don't think of anything that I don't think, or otherwise I will join your exposure.
I'll be right back to you. I'm just gonna get some more drinks, because my throat is dry from all this talking. I'll be right back.
No problem. Yeah, I've asked for some water myself. It's increasingly hotter in Romania. We had 30 degrees today, so basically,
Nice.
it's nice. It's summerish. And then I mean, we will have by next year ATC we will have 2 more new books for the Germans. We'll have the SS.
Yeah.
Yes, we will have the SS, and we will have the Bagration German list. Lud, do you see any new formations coming into? I mean, okay, with the SS we'll get what we have, but in SS version, from my point of view.
Yeah.
And maybe Christian could either confirm or not, or you guys in the chat, if you have any insights. I'm looking.
I can send you the picture to you of the Panther that they made.
No, I already know. the Panther, or yes, just send it and we'll put it on stream maybe.
The
And
fearless Panda version. I have a picture of it.
yeah, just send it to me and we'll put it on
Yeah,
the screen.
the,
Maybe people didn't see it. And then
I mean, the formations we're gonna see in Bagration. I hope we'll see like that the lists are clearly like Eastern Front themed. So blocking forces with maybe not so high morale, but extremely high skill, or then the other way around. I mean, there's so much stuff. You've got so many battles and campaigns that were basically started from Bagration onwards. You have the fall of Budapest, well, the siege of Budapest. Well, you have the attack on
St.
Ploiești.
Petersburg.
yeah.
Yeah, and the Army Group North, Estonia, and all that.
Exactly, and
there's,
Battle of Narva.
There's a ton of stuff. For example, I hope the half volunteer, half forcibly conscripted SS legions, foreign legions, are depicted at least with cards, so
Yeah.
that we can make them, because I mean,
I can see the
Norman. By the end of the war, you had more non-Germans in the SS than Germans.
Exactly, like
I mean, the last SS troops to surrender in Berlin were French.
Exactly.
So there's going to be so much interesting stuff. I mean, it's going to be a busy hobby year, to be honest.
And it will be a long expectation until Bagration.
But when those two books come out, I think we'll have our hands full with topics to discuss and models to paint.
Exactly. They said that the King Tiger will only come with the Bulge book, so we will not have King Tigers and Yak Tigers. But I think I hope we will have Yak Panthers. I think we should have Yak Panthers in the SS book as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I think it's unfortunate that you cannot. Now when they made the booklet for 21st Panzer Division, they should have made I think the Panzer got issued some early versions of King Tigers.
Yes.
And you can have them in version 3, and then the gearbox could break down and could get stuck on one when it moved. But I simply think it was because they didn't have the molds ready for making them in plastic when the book came out.
I mean, I think everybody has King Tigers in their arsenal toys. And also, I think King Tigers, I mean, having one or two King Tigers, it's something that people could have. But let's wait for the Bulge. I'm at least happy that my Americans will not have to meet King Tigers on the battlefield, because that would have been another downfall for everything that the German tournament gameplay means. US German gameplay means. All right. So basically, Lud, you're saying that Bagration is going to be something that we expect in terms of modifying stats for the toys we currently have. So basically, not many new toys will be introduced.
Well, to be honest, yeah, I mean, I don't think there's going to be that many new toys. Maybe some variants of, let's say, Panzer IVs. Maybe. Well, they already confirmed that the Wirbelwind and Ostwind
are going to be
Panzer IV AA models will be coming out.
They might make some Panzer Sperrverband, the German blocking units, or the German police units that were forced into front service. So there might be some cool command cards to make.
Having I know that in version 3 they were exactly as the French Free Army thing. Those guys were considered to be on the table and not count for reserves. And yes, Scott, no King Tigers for the Eastern Front. I mean, Pete said that King Tigers will be available only in the Bulge and probably in the Berlin book, which they said that they will have. So this will not be Eastern Front Late War, the end book. We will have a Berlin version for Late War.
It's a very understandable strategy, because if they would put out all the toys at once, it would be overwhelming for the players.
Exactly, but
and then I'm afraid that when they would come out with the new books,
yeah,
the books wouldn't in a way finance themselves with the models.
exactly.
So it's more fun that way. You have something more to anticipate than just the book.
The question I want to address to you guys and to the guys in the chat room is actually, what are you going to play? Not in the 2021 ATC, but in 2022 ATC. Are we going to play mid-war? Because early war, I don't think so. And I think in 2022 they will release like the Berlin books, like the Bulge books, and people will probably want to play Late War again.
No, but listen to you, as a 7-year veteran of the ETC, we have been taking turns each year.
Yeah, I know that.
Because the meta is obviously changing a lot in Late War, but for it to be refreshing and new, and especially also not to see the same armies brought again, we've been changing each year, and I actually think those two early war tournaments, two early war tournaments I've been in, have been the most fun. Yeah. Especially because there are so many different nations to pick from, and so many lists that you have to take into consideration. Yep. So for the game to be more challenging and more skilled required, I'm really looking forward to play early war in 2022.
Yeah, I would like to play early war also, because I had a blast with my early war Polish army. So basically it was really fun and really nice gameplay. But you think that we will have enough support from Battlefront? I mean, we've last ATC we played early war with an adapted version for the rulebooks, and people will be playing version 4 for 4 years now, and going back to version 3 and version 4 will be quite hard, I think.
You mean 3.5 or?
Yeah, the 3.5.
I don't think we'll have to go 2022 with luck. They might have actually come out with the early war, like at least points wise, or then we just do the hybrid as last time. Basically, we use the V3 points.
But that will be very hard, my friend. That will be very hard.
Would it?
Yes, for me to go back to version 3.5 would be hard.
No, I think it's okay. I think it's okay.
I mean, just think about the points, not the rest of the rules package. Just the points.
The points are okay with me, actually. I mean, for the points, it's no problem. It's just list building. The only problem I would have would be actually, for example, doing movement things and all other rules that are.
But it's basically the same. It's the same rule book, and then it's just there's this little pamphlet about how the rules work with some corrections to special rules.
Exactly.
I think it's okay, and it's the level of skill that is required to play on ETC level, I think can take to go back and play early war.
Yeah, we shall see. We shall see how it goes.
1 year to prepare. Yeah.
Okay, so without further ado, I've put up the forces on the screen for everybody to see. and we are going to talk, as I said, about Fortress Europe Germans and D-Day Germans. Christian, what is your favorite formation to attack with
In
in late war German?
yeah, German. Yeah, I would definitely pick. I would definitely pick some German Panzergrenadiers any day, and
To attack with.
to attack with. Yeah, and I would buy if possible, the Recce versions with 7 cars instead, 250s instead of 251s.
All right. And you, Lud?
I've actually got this old list that I built a while ago. To take a look at it. And it's an old Fallschirmjäger company with the FJ Stugs.
All right.
It's quite a. I did this. It was one of the first ones I did as soon as the book came out.
So Fallschirmjägers, you say, to attack
Yeah.
with. All right. For
No,
me,
not to attack. This would be maneuver, actually.
no, I will take them.
Oh, I missed on something. Attack. Hold on. Let's see what I've got up here. I should have some cool E4 stuff.
Until you find it, I will share
Yeah,
you
go
guys. It's Panzer Force for me to attack with, and it's Panzer Force from Fortress of Europe. So Panzer Force in combination with Panzer IIIs and Ferdinand. So that's my attacking force. That's a list pretty simple, you know, with a formation of like, for example, this one. I'm showing you guys. It's a Panzer IV with Panzer III HQ, then two platoons of Panzer IVs and one platoon of 5 Panzer IIIs, then one Ferdinand, one Wesp, and then a platoon of Grenadiers with Panzer Faust. I think this list is very good to attack with, although it looks very simple. It actually has everything you need. It has a lot of tanks to assault with, and then you have a very strong tank to go face to face with Churchills or Tigers, and then you have some infantry and of course some artillery. When you want to attack, you need this. I would say this list lacks recon, but I can also get some versions with recon where I just downgrade one of the Panzer IVs to a Panzer III, and then you get them one extra recon. So you can share your screen, I think, Christian, maybe.
Yeah, I will. Just give me a sec.
And then we see. No. So you want to give me?
I'll just email you the picture.
Okay.
Just send it in the Skype chat, and I'll email it to you. Picture.
All right. Perfect. Yep. So Lud, what's your attacking force?
I haven't actually built an attacking force for the Germans. Sorry, buddy. But maybe, yeah, to be honest, I've only built defensive forces for the Germans.
Right. So then we get to
or maneuver ones. No,
then you say Germans are not to attack with.
well, no, actually, now I found my Panzerlehr list. That would be a Panzer IV company,
Yeah.
supported by a armored Panzer Grenadier company. So
Nice.
two formations. Yes, this is not ETC compatible anymore since it has two formations. No,
No.
no, no, sorry. It is. Sorry. Wrong day.
You can't have
It's
allied formations, but you can have two formations from
yeah,
the same
yeah,
nation
true, yeah.
and from
So
the same book
this
actually.
is legal. Yeah. So ignore what I just said. So this four would include two Panzer IVs in the HQ, and then two platoons of four Panzer IVs. And the Panzer Grenadier Company would be the HQ, two full platoons equipped with Panzerfausts, and then you put the 3.7 centimeter gun on one of the half tracks. Then put the Stummels, however, only four of them this time. And then to get some true Panzerlehr flavor in there, two Grilles.
Nice.
And that would be my head-on trade-in, back on stretchers type of.
Cool. So also
tactic
Panzer
choice.
IV.
Yep.
Christian, why would you go with grenadiers for attack?
The reason I would go with Grenadiers and especially the 250s is because you can have 7 vehicles which all have MGs on them.
Yeah.
So I used to be in armored infantry
Okay.
for 6 years, and as you know, I've been in the army for 12. So what we always talked about there in the army is that you have a mobile fire base for you to pin the enemy with. And if you have some dog in infantry, it's nice that you have your own fire base. You just need hits to pin them down.
Yes.
And if you have 7 vehicles, I think they have 3 shots each MG fire, or if mounted 4, I think.
4 now.
Yeah. So you have
The 250. I will check. I will check.
yeah,
Carry
but
on.
it's around 21 shots, I think. So it's easy for you to pin down the enemy if you also use your infantry along. The amount required to pin the enemy is
Yeah, it's 4
within
shots.
reach. Yeah, it's within reach if you have to hit on 6s, you know.
Yeah.
So you'll need 30 shots to get him pinned. So it's possible with one platoon to get that if you use your infantry as well.
And
so
then,
I think that is really nice.
and then what do you do against the tank lists?
Yeah, obviously I'm a big fan of bringing just 2 Tigers along.
Yeah.
And then I would have. That's just my way of playing, but I like to have cheap guns, and I would buy 88s just in nests and put them on the back line.
Yeah.
Starting to shoot at him, and then make my formation strong by having mortars in my formation and.
Exactly. As I like to play my attacking maneuver German list with pack fronts, 88s and or the pack 43s. Okay, what about maneuver?
And then Ludi, Theo, I would also. Can you post a picture? Because if I'm playing it defensive list, you're gonna put it up. Because then I'm gonna use Panthers.
All right. Let me check it. Yeah, but for maneuver.
For maneuver, I would pretty much take the same list, I think.
With defense and maneuver.
Yeah.
Let me check. I haven't received your email yet.
You haven't?
No.
Let me try again.
But can you put the picture on the Skype
I can
chat?
share the picture. Yeah, I can share the picture. Skype, just a sec. Yeah, but I would use the same list because I think it's a good list both for attacking and maneuver, but not for defending, I think.
For me, I found a great list for maneuver, and I'm going to actually test it during a Saturday day stream that I will have with our friend Rob from last episode. He will. I mean, we agreed to play on Saturday. So, guys watching us now, you will have a live stream of a remote game between a Romanian and a Wales guy going on this stream, and also probably on his channel. He's doing some great battle reports with his friends playing remotely and all that, and I will join him. I will join him on a game, because if you could imagine having the shop open for 2 weeks now, I didn't manage to get any of my guys to have a game to try out something. So basically, I'm looking forward to the game I will have with Rob. The list that I will play, it's this list on the screen right now. It's something that we discussed last time. It's a list that I've shown you guys last time. This is with 9th Panzer Division card rebuilding. It's an armored Panzer Grenadier company. I've been living under a stone until like 1 week ago, and I was only doing Panzer Grenadiers with 9th Panzer or with the Greyhound card attached, because I thought that I cannot attach it to the armored Panzer Grenadiers.
Oh.
But yeah, that happens to everybody, I think. And then I just found my preferred list. The list I will play with him. This is the list I will play with him actually on a Saturday as a maneuver list. You see it here. It's Armored Panzer Grenadiers HQ with Panzerfaust, Armored Panzer Grenadier platoon, and then a Panzer Grenadier platoon with Panzerschreck upgrade and Panzerfaust. These guys will be on the table for sure, defending an objective. And then armor mortar, the Stummels, and light 88 AA trucks. Then in support west, Panzer OP, 2 Tiger tanks, and 4 Panzer IVs. This, I hope I will still have it in me. I hope I will give him a wrestle. He will play British list, and we already rolled for who's attacking in scenario and all those things, but I will have it as a surprise for Saturday, so you guys will have something to think about it. Yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. What's your favorite maneuver list, guys? I mean, you Christian already told me, and you Lou, do you have a different list other than the one we talked about?
I actually have a few maneuver ones. This could actually be more of a defend one, but let's go ahead anyway. So it's a double FJ company, so to speak.
Yes.
You have the infantry one, and then the assault gun company. Yeah. So the FJ infantry company is HQ equipped with Panzerfausts, 2 platoons of 7 with Fausts, and 1 Schreck each, and then a mortar platoon of 2 stands of the bigger, heavy 12-centimeter mortars, and their support is the assault gun company with 1 HQ gun, then 4 Stugs, as they usually are, 3 Stugs, the Stus, the artillery ones,
yep,
and a big platoon of 10 stands of Fallschirmjägers. You'll see why soon, and they will also be with Panzerfausts.
More Fallschirmjägers.
Yes.
Have you thought about using the defense of Brest card?
No.
the one that allows you to have a beach defense platoon integrated into your Fallschirmjäger company?
No, there's one reason why I want to keep this, especially the last big platoon, is these two companies have a recce element of two Pumas for a spearhead, and I have the assault gun escorts card, which allows me to put a platoon, assign a platoon of Fallschirmjägers
Yeah.
that can assault from the Stugs. So
Yeah.
they can ride the Stugs. You see why I have a big platoon of
Yes.
Fallschirmjägers? So you will have the Stugs. Basically, well, this will be bread and butter for Christian. You have a bunch of mechanized units shooting away at dug-in infantry, any anti-tank guns that the poor guys might have. When they've kind of got their heads up after being shot to pieces, they will realize that there's a bunch of elite infantry running towards them using automatic weapons.
Exactly.
Nice.
That's standard mechanized infantry tactics. Also have my dark background with those guys. So
Okay, guys. Let's see. How do I get back to the chat we're having? Yeah, we're back because I had some saving the Panther card.
Yeah. But this is a community made card, but it's gonna be like that because it's gonna be like that with them being trained. Sorry, yeah, trained. What's it called now? Green? No, hit on threes. I mean,
careful.
no,
No, hit on threes.
what's it called? Yeah, I can't remember.
Hit on threes.
Aggressive.
Trained in old days.
Aggressive.
Yeah,
Aggressive.
aggressive. Yeah, it's gonna be aggressive, but it's a community made card, but it's gonna be like that from the new book, as I've been told through backwater channels.
From what I know, they will be a veteran in skill only when they will be around their HQ.
Give me a sec, guys.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
But it's also because that's a community card. But if you put it up on screen.
Yes, I will try. Let me check. No. Let me check and see. Work magic.
But I think it's a great idea the way Battlefront did it with making them trained or aggressive, because a guy named Tik, T-I-K, on YouTube made a
great channel, by the way.
Great channel, by the way. Yeah, he made a short video about myths about the SS, and especially during the first early war period, they were fanatical, for sure, but there's a thin line between being a lunatic or being brave. So
okay. It's on the screen right now.
Yeah. So I think it's a great way they portray them now with the new book, that there are some veterans among them, and then there are also some fanatical new young guys that just been.
Yes, but from what I understood and from what I've been fed, some people passed some information to me, and it was about the fact that these Panthers are going to be trained in skill, and when they are in 6 inches from, there will be a card that when they are in 6 inches from the HQ, you know, if their platoon command it's in 6 inches to the HQ, they become a veteran in skill.
Yeah, near the big guy.
Yes, this is what I've heard. It's still to be confirmed when the book will be released. It's just 2 months from now. Hopefully, they will do a great job releasing it on time. Otherwise, there will be pretty much a lot of speculation, and people would like to have the Panthers. For me, Christian, Panthers are a no-go vehicle for tournaments. They are very, very easily killed from the side, and you cannot assault with them.
But the thing is, it's a great way to get 6 shots of AT-14 that is mobile, because you need to use the Panther as a medium tank, not as a heavy tank. So if you use them as a mobile fire base on your back line,
it's a 30 points mobile fire base hit on 3.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
I don't want to see the cannon on the Stuka or other tank busting airplanes, but they will be like shredded, you know, with the new aircraft rule now. They will be turned into pieces. And also I'm thinking just how to take Panthers out. Now I have a purpose for my bazookas. I would just run my bazookas to the side and there you go, Panther. You know?
Yeah, but I would not. I would definitely not assault with them. I would use them as a mobile fire base. And for me, you know, we can talk meta all day.
Yeah.
I remember at one point when we played early war, our captain was told that his list looked horrible and it wasn't up to the meta, and he won all 6 games with his army.
Yeah,
playing T-28s and T-35s Russian tanks.
Yeah.
So again, it might not work with the way a Tiger works, but it's all a matter of playing style. It's the same thing with Cromwell's worth 17 points for Recce Platoon. It might work if you like that play style, but you have to use them in a certain way and not just bulldoze across the table and put templates on the opponent and then smoke him and assault. I think it's more like a scalping, and if you can make it work, go for it.
An aggressive scalpel I don't like. This is my only problem. I mean, cautious scalpel I would like. They'll stay. I mean, Achilles, for example, they are sugar guns. Yeah, everybody can kill them, but they are so deadly, and they are half the price.
Yeah.
Even less than half the price.
But then again, you know, Theo, sometimes I've seen it a bunch of time across different games, also in Flames of War, that people find the internet list, as I call it, where some guy have cooked up, this is the magical list that you'll win every tournament with, or this list became #1 at US Masters.
No, that's
and then
impossible.
some mediocre guy plays with it, and you don't know how it works.
Exactly.
So it's up to your play style.
Exactly. Some units. I mean, I tried to give advices to people about lists and about platoons and about tanks and how to use them. Or I mean, I share my experience of what I found out to be working and to be fruitful combination of lists to have for tournaments. For me, having Panthers never came on top, never came productive. I've always been better with the Panzer IV in what it means to comparing the efficiency, you know, of spending a lot of points into Panthers. Although I really like the Panther model, I would really like to play with the Panthers. But I'm just thinking, for example, now about the Little John upgrade. I think I've asked you guys. Yeah, I've asked. It was you, Christian, who told me.
Yeah.
Who actually told me? Who actually told me get the Little John, especially for the Panthers.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. And then you have 3 points killing your 30 points. What? You know?
Yeah.
Not killing you. I mean, it doesn't have to happen. But it's the possibility. The possibility is there. And you should have as little as, you know.
But let's say the thing with the Panther is, the way I would use it would be keep it on long distance all the time and hold down behind a hill or in a forest. And then you have a base of fire that cannot be killed by stupid mortar teams. It has to be used at least with anti-tank-free artillery.
Yeah.
And then they're not hitting your infantry. And you can move your Panthers with a stormtrooper move outside of it or a blitz,
Yeah.
or you can just simply move them. So you have to see possibilities. And yeah, I'll agree that Wehrmacht tanks, Panther tanks, are too expensive. But I think it could work with the SS troops, or at least as a support allied unit for a regular grenadier list. I'm gonna try it at least
Yeah,
before I
yeah.
can make up my mind.
We need to try it. Lut, this is my Fallschirmjäger list. We have it on the stream right now, but it's with the Defense of Brest card used with having a beach defense grenadier platoon there, and then some AT-8s as support and some recce. Yeah, I could use this as a offensive list. Actually, this is what was in my mind when I built it, to have it as a assaulting list. What do you guys like in defensive lists? I mean, okay, everybody knows that. Everybody. We, the people who like to go to the next ATC, know that most of the defensive lists will be German or British lists. Am I there
Until
or
we
not?
get the Russian folk, or like
Until we get
the
we get the 30 plus bases of Russian infantry, and then everybody
might be the best way to stop Russian tanks.
Yeah,
Russian
exactly.
infantry.
Yeah, throw some. Yeah, actually, you know what happened? We did a game in Midwar when we were preparing for Novi Sad last year, and I was playing against Dan, who was steamrolling his KVs, and I played some Stelkovi infantry thing, or how is it called? And I've actually stopped his KVs with the chain of mortars. You know, I had I had my mortars and then guns and then mortars and then guns. So he kept assaulting, and then my mortars were staying in the assault, and his KVs went back, and then he came back on, and all that took him about 3 turns. And
but I think that
then it was too late for him to get to the objective. So
yeah, but I think that if you want to make a defensive list, we talked about it the last time. Again, it's also up to play style. But me and Dude is a big fan of the Grenadiers, Beach Grenadiers, because I want to do interlocking fields of fire with mixed platoons, so that if he assaults or if he shoots, he can only hit, like, let's say 2 stands from that platoon or 2 stands from that platoon. He might pin both platoons with a mortar bombardment, but he'll have Fausts from each platoon and Shreks from each platoon. So
Exactly.
I would get at as many of those as possible, and then look into to getting nests, as we talked about last time, individual guns that are annoying, and you'll have to use 4 mortar stands to pin him or take him out. Meanwhile, the other ones are harassing you. So, and then keep your tigers on the table.
Yes. Scott, I so feel you, my friend. This is why actually we're doing this stream right now. We are also missing preparing for the ATC and all that buzz. Yeah, Patrick, you'll see me at least for the next Belgium tournament, and hopefully we'll have a bunch more people coming in and joining us. Scott, yeah, this is a problem. This is we'll have to bear with it during this summer, and also, I mean, okay, from autumn or from winter, we will start preparing for the next ATC, and hopefully we won't have any COVID-20 full thing, and cancel or postpone anything else. But basically, this is, I mean, we have to do this. I mean, this is it. We don't have anything else to do right now. So, defensive lists, guys. German defensive lists. What would you use?
I'm actually fine-tuning one I already had built.
Yes.
It's
share it with us.
Give me a sec. You'll have to open it for me, since I am Skyping from my phone.
You can just send it on WhatsApp if it's easy for you.
Yeah, that's not going to be possible because otherwise I'll have to manipulate.
All right. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
Just
I'll talk you through it.
okay. I will try to build it.
Cool.
So, Fortress of Europe or D-Day Germans?
D-Day Germans. D-Day Germans.
D-Day
Actually,
Germans.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually the only book I haven't bought a single formation from, the Fortress Europe one.
All right.
I mean, okay, sure you have some stuff in there, but it's.
You have
I'm
Ferdinand, my
afraid
friend.
Yes, but it will be gone soon.
When
The same fate will happen to Fortress Europe as happened to the Desert Rats book. So
maybe.
that's.
I've seen people coming to the ATC with Desert Rats lists.
But yeah, I mean, mine was a Desert Rats list.
There you go.
Yeah. So my list is a Beach Boys list with some tigers and support. So we have the Beach Boys HQ with Fausts.
So sorry. Once again, Panzer Grenadiers, Beach Defense.
No, Beach Boys.
Beach Boys. All right.
HQ with Fausts.
All right.
Then 2 platoons of 7 with Fausts and 1 Shrek each.
And MG, yes.
Yeah, they're.
You can have rifle. This is why I'm asking.
MGs.
All right. So MGs, Faust, and Shrek. Yeah, I find it best to have the Shrek added on to the Beach Boys. Then.
Yep. Then you have a 3rd platoon of 5 with 2 Shreks.
All right.
And MGs again.
MGs again. Okay,
yep.
Perfect. Okay.
Then a platoon of 4 mortars, 8 centimeters.
Yes.
And a platoon of 3 7.5s.
Beach defense, yes.
Yes, everything is beat. This is the formation. And to play with those guys, I originally had a tiger company with 5 tigers, but I just changed it to 3 tigers. So 1 HQ and 2.
Give me some chance to go back. So tiger company, yes.
Yep.
Okay,
in
so
total 3 tigers. So 1 HQ tank and 2.
1 in each platoon. Can you have that? No. Blood?
I think the connection went out.
Yeah, looks like he's frozen.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, we'll have to wait for him to come back.
Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys.
Yeah. Phone died. Yeah, probably. Somebody's calling him probably, and this is what happens. I see you're going to Northern Ireland. Where is that, Christian?
It's actually.
Is the thing in Denmark?
in Northern Ireland. It's a slang.
Yeah.
In their own dialect for Northern Ireland. So if you say it really fast, it's Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland. Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it's just a game that Scott and the other guys from the North Irish community hosted 2 years back. I went to and I stayed at Johnny's house, the captain on the North Irish team, and.
So it's a tournament in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
And when is it? When is it, Scott?
just outside Belfast, I think, somewhere.
Yeah, but when?
I don't know when he's hosting it, but normally it's in the spring. Last time it was in the spring, in February 2017, I think. I went there 3 years ago.
Yeah, I see Lud is frozen. I think I'll.
Whenever COVID-19 stops, he says. So
ASP.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's
but
a
it
good
was really nice event there at Scott and the guys had a great venue and nice tables, and also the food there was excellent, and we had a few pints also, and just had a good time playing. They also had guys from Ireland coming over, and I think I can't remember his name, but the guy from the Polish team with the long hair was also a good player. He was also
I know. Yeah, I know him. I know him. Yes.
yeah, he was also attending, and yeah, really good games I
Scott.
had there and good times.
Yeah, Scott drop us an info on when do you think it will happen? Probably in November, as soon, or October, because otherwise, I know that you guys in the UK are having some hard
Lucas
time.
Cool, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You're having like a party time there with COVID, and then now with some riots or things like that. I hope they won't get too crazy about it. Yeah, Lud disconnected, and it's just the two of us. But we'll manage this. Probably he'll be back.
He'll probably come back, yeah.
Yeah.
But let's try. I've seen if you can finish the list, because I think
he said too many tigers from my perspective. I mean, if I put 2 more tigers, I'm over the budget.
yeah, I would never go for free. But we had that discussion before. But I would only run 2 as a support unit for sure.
Yes, this is 5. Yeah, it's 2 points over. So basically, probably a Panzerfaust will have to be cut out from the. Ah, there you go. Lud is back.
Oh, guys, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you. What happened to your phone? Can you hear us?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Cool. Yeah, sorry, I had some technical issues, so coming up with the backup solution.
Good, good. We don't have 1 tiger option.
Yes, you do. You have 1 tiger in the HQ.
Yes.
And then you have a platoon of 2 tigers. Yes, I know it's a small formation.
So you have to have 2 platoons of tigers, or isn't it?
Yeah, crap. Yeah, sorry. So then you would have another platoon of 2 tigers.
So basically, I've talked with Christian, and we've said that probably we'll have to scratch one of the Panzerfausts to have 100 points just in. And this will be Lud's list for defending with his Beach Boys.
Yeah, and this would be a layered defense system, so to speak.
Exactly.
Defense in depth.
Yes.
Defense in depth. I find it good. I find it interesting. I also tried something with tigers and having 6 tigers on the table, but using Greyhound. I prefer using the Greyhound card or the rebuilding card, but especially the Greyhound card, because the cautious status of the force with being hit on force is actually much better for a defensive force, in my opinion.
I just think the only problem with the list here is that, in my opinion, especially as a defender, you need to have a reconnaissance platoon of some sort. Because if you say, let's say you play counterattack and you have to go to the far objective,
or
you
contact,
are fucked.
or cornered.
You need to have a Reggie, and just 3 points worth of it. So if you could spare like 1 Faust, or let's say not a Faust, but let's say a Shrek from one of the platoons, or a Faust or something, so we can get a cheap Reggie unit. That would be preferable, and it's only simply to be able to do spearhead.
Yep.
Need
Let's
to have that.
let's see if I can do some magic and get you guys. I think the Panzerfaust on the command, we can scrap that. What do you say, Lud?
I'd rather have that.
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
HQ.
Go ahead. Go do your magic, guys. I'm
So
still
I will,
trying to figure out the issues I had here.
with the phone.
Yeah, it's it seems like the USB ports on my desktop aren't actually giving the phone enough juice to charge. So it actually uses more electricity than it's charging to it.
Nice.
Yep.
I would make one of the big platoons. I would make a rifle instead of MG, and probably give it another Panzerschreck, because you can. Yeah, of course I cannot do that, and it's incompatible. Give this a Panzerfaust and then 2 Panzerschrecks.
Björn is saying that we can't keep taking out Fausts, and I agree, but I also think that we should definitely have Fausts on the HQ, because they are more. It's nice to have 2 additional Fausts for 2 points, and then we could just perhaps save some points and make one of the platoons into a rifle platoon instead.
I would take
then,
I would take the
get some
3.
Reggie.
I would take the 3 vehicle ones, not the Pumas. What do you say?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Those ones. It's simply just to have spearhead, and then if you can harass some guns or whatever, I don't care. It's just not to be screwed in the missions where you have a objective on the far side that you have to reach.
Okay, Faust is back on the captain, and then I'll put the small guys. It's only just 1 point. The small guys will have to be very small.
Yeah. But
Oh,
then
so
they
you're
could
going
be
like
first time.
MG and rifle.
Yeah, so I gave
Yep.
2 platoons. I gave MG rifle, the
Yep.
small platoon, and the other one. And then I used Panzerfaust on all, and then Panzerschreck, and then I beefed up. No, I will go back and take from this rifle platoon. I gave 2.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I give 2 Panzerschreck to the 7 guys, and basically we can do this. Yeah, there we go. That's a good list. That it could work in defense, but what happens? What happens?
Let's say you play a maneuver like Dust Up. I think it'll be great as well, actually, because you have such cheap infantry. You can keep on your own home objective. Meanwhile, you push with the Tigers, and who's gonna kill those Tigers?
Fireflies.
Yeah, but then again.
Yes, I don't know.
You have a lot of Tigers, so
it's a lot of Tigers. You have some Pack 40 also to help you with that, and you have a lot of Panzerfausts. And if you meet a tank force that will attack you, they will have to grind some infantry before they will be trustful to get inside.
But let's say how many points are the Tiger formation in total?
60 points.
60. So you could actually keep...
Sorry guys, I'm gonna go mute for a sec here.
Yeah, no problem.
You could actually go Tigers. If let's say you play a Dust Up mission, you can keep all the Tigers on the table and just stay in your own corner and wait for your reinforcements, and then let him try and push you, because he's not gonna kill 5 Tigers on the objective.
I don't know, Christian. You have too much faith in Tigers. I will show you my 6 Tigers list, which I like, but it's with a Greyhound, and it looks like this. Then the problem that Lud will have with his list is with the 40 points of reserves. He will have to have 2 2 platoons of Tigers. I mean, 1 full platoon in HQ in reserve, and probably some infantry.
Yeah, but how about we do like Søren said, take off the formation and make it a platoon of Tigers, big one.
Four
Scott
Tigers.
is saying this. Yeah, Scott is saying the same.
Yeah, I think it's Scott and Søren.
Okay.
Both.
Okay.
The thing is, I think most generic lists will have 2 Tigers as support for some either Panzer Grenadiers or Beats Grenadiers. But that's what you're gonna prepare for when you go to a tournament. So let's say we wanna break the meta. We don't wanna go with the meta. We wanna break it. That's how you win tournaments. So if you just go for stuff like that.
4 Tigers will be breaking the meta.
I think so.
Where is it? Where is it?
And one thing again we get to like human nature is that for some funny reason your opponent will be most likely focusing on your Tigers instead of the actual threat.
I'm sure he'll be focusing your Tigers.
Beach Boys just
Tiger fear, yeah.
sitting there, delaying you from getting to your objective.
Yep.
Yeah, especially because this list is made for defense.
This is pure defense, with maybe like following the German doctrine of counterattacking once your opponent has blunted his spearhead. But
I so love this new forces thing where you cannot have filters.
And again, if it's a defensive list, now with the IS meta coming up, I think we'll see more Tigers heavily filtered, because 2 Tigers cannot stop it.
Yeah, and I actually on my forces I've named the formation I had originally Spähverband.
All right.
So
yeah,
it's literally a blocking force.
So this is another version of my Tiger list using armored grenadiers this time with half tracks. What do you guys think about it? I can't see the chat. I forgot to look for.
I'm looking. Just worry too.
Yeah, so dumb. No filters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree,
Nisu, it's I mean, it's been a rant for me on their live stream on Sunday. Why you are postponing Bulge US book? You're killing us.
Yeah. But again, it's not meant to be that you can play blue on blue. It's not meant to play like that. I think because it's
only competitive play that has blue on blue, and many tournaments actually avoid blue on blue.
Especially in Denmark, we try to make it like that.
Yeah, and I know some tournaments where you can actually bring like A and B lists, so you can switch over if you want to avoid a blue on blue situation.
I agree with you guys, and I'm for that thing actually. But U.S. playing against Germans, it's very hard. And I'm not talking from the perspective that U.S. lists are horrible. I'm just talking that the British list will always be better than a US list. So playing against the German list, a British list will always be better than a US list. This is my problem. I mean, the problem is that, for example, at the ATC, we will not be able to put up a list from the US book. This is my problem. I mean,
I think that if you make them like, let's say you have FFI platoons or FTP platoons, alongside with tank destroyer formations, that might work, because then you can start in with all of your infantry, and you have a lot of tank destroyer platoons and a lot of armored cars to deal with Panzer Grenadiers and stuff. And you cannot take a shootout. It's a skilled list. So let's say if you play US forces, it's a different playing style. Instead of with the Russians, I would say the guy that's the weakest guy tactically on the team should play like an IS list, where he can just, keep his head under his arm and put the gas pedal down and go towards the objective, shoot a long way and assault. And
Yeah.
then the guys playing the US list has actually to think a lot more, in my opinion.
They have to think a lot more. And Soren, I don't agree with you. British lists done with like you need to have a Churchill platoon there with possibly an upgrade to armor 11 front, and then you need to have the Achilles on for sure, and then you have all the infantry that is much cheaper than the US infantry. You don't have the bombardment, all right, but other than that, you have all the means to beat an US player. For example, what I've seen in what Lud showed us on Saturday from his game, playing against another British Sherman list, where that guy did a mistake there. I'm not talking about wise guys playing against not so skilled guys, you know. I'm talking about the same skill base. I mean, I'm talking for what I'm going to choose for my list at the next ATC, you know. And I'm building lists when I go to sleep. I'm building lists in my head when I have nothing else to do, you know. And I'm always getting some minuses, you know. When I do the math, in the end, I have less firepower on the U.S. List than I have on the British list. I have less standing chances than I have on the British list, and yeah, it's disappointing. I mean, if you would have had one platoon of Fireflies or one platoon of Achilles or something, I mean, to be taken as an allied platoon for our US list, as for example, you can have the 76s allied to your Churchills, and that's super powerful.
But I think to you that if you, let's say you have an M12 platoon against IS-2s, anti-tank 15, automatic fire power test, and you have a lucky card.
And the M12s you're talking about.
Yeah. Let's say you have a lucky card.
Yes.
And you use your blitz because you have the M12s in ambush, and they have to be far away. You blitz them, and you have the lucky card if you fail the blitz.
Yes.
So you'll be within short range, so you'll hit them on freeze. Then you'll have anti-tank 15 with 4 dices on 3+. You'll hit with at least 2, maybe 2.5. And he will save only on 6s. It will be bounced automatically on 5s. And then you have your infantry to follow up to assault the platoon that has just 1 tank. Then let's say you killed 2, or you bailed 1 and killed 1. Then you have infantry to follow up. So you can remove 1 platoon by that.
And what
if you have a lucky card.
I agree with you. And then the M12s are dead.
No, because you'll keep them in, let's say, in a forest or down. Like you have to take into consideration where you hop it, and especially you have infantry in front as a screen.
You know that a skilled Russian player will definitely. I mean, I've taken out Russian Churchills with M12s, and it was quite funny. Just doing this, blitz, shoot, and that guy had so many Churchills that he could have like stumped my M12s, but he never thought about, well, let's shoot back with MGs, you know.
Yeah.
A simple rain of MGs in the M12s kills them, you know.
But I'm just saying to you, it's not like one wonder weapon that can kill the IS-2s, but you have to rethink stuff like how are you going to stop it if you meet it. And I'm just saying this is a way you could do it. Keep re-rolling lucky card for the blitz to become a short range, and then you remove 1 platoon. And let's say he has 10 IS-2s in his company and 2 artillery pieces as a support. Then you remove 1/4 of his army by killing those 3 tanks. All of a sudden. Yeah. So you have to kill, I know it's a tough thing, but you have to kill 6 more, and then he's broken. And he also needs them for assault. So if the M12 can take out 3 IS2s, and let's say he kills 2 of them or half of them, or they might survive with 1 tank, then they've done their job, and then you have the rest of your M10s in a M10 security section thingy formation with some FTPs and FFI platoons alongside. I would do that definitely if I was to make a list that could take and handle IS2s.
You could have some success with that, but from my experience playing M12s, playing Americans, and having everything in the arsenal, I haven't tried FF things because I don't believe in that. But yeah, that's just me. It worked with the Russian list and with the guy that didn't knew what to do and how to handle me. But when I played against the skilled players, I was popping my ambush, and then those M12s were like dead because I was shooting at 4+, because I was shooting at Churchills. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but that's against British. Now we're talking Russians, right? But I'm just thinking that.
No, I was talking in general. I wasn't talking about dealing with certain. I mean, with Russian. For me, a guy playing only IS2s in his list, I don't know what to say about him. I mean, I would definitely take 20 T-34s or 12 T-34s and then a big platoon of IS2s and go to town with them.
Yeah. But we'll see, because I think that so much is dependent also, as they say in the chat, about terrain, how terrain thick is the table, and what about cross checks and stuff like that might slow him down. Placement of minefields if you're defending. There's a lot of things to take into consideration.
Yeah. I will try. With one more time with the Americans, but until then, I will build my British list. I mean, this is my point. This is what I'm thinking about. I mean, carriers,
I know. That's why I just bought them. I know.
It's a wonder weapon. I mean, hello.
Yeah, I know.
Can you do that? Can you do that with the Americans? I mean, the only unit somebody will like shine some envy on is the Sherman 76s, the veteran ones. That's okay. That's a very good unit, but otherwise, the bazooka it's crap. The people are saying here just play train the Shermans and Stuarts. Well, that's not helping against big boys, It's not helping against Churchills and IS2s. Okay, you can try something like my dear friend Christian said, pop your M12s and pray for the lucky card to work. But that's an ideal scenario, when your opponent has his Shermans on the road and you have a Sherman 76 ambush to pop them up with. So.
Yeah. But we'll see, and it all comes down to the dices in the end, and the table and the scenario, because it's probably easier to defend if you're playing at a short table edge, like in depth, where you can place the minefield and say, hey, come through the minefield or come to this objective, and we'll fight it out in a slugging match. And then I think the IS2s will have a top trouble. But if you have on the wide side of the table, like it will be difficult to defend both objectives. I agree. So it all comes down to going into thinking out of the box, the cliche, thinking out of the box, try to see how would I deal with this. And there's no such thing as making an ideal tournament list. Let's say you play 5 games in a weekend. If you win 4 of them, you have a shot, but you most likely are going to lose 1 of them, because your list, if you play blue and blue, cannot be tuned for every scenario, every match, and every...
Of course. I mean, here we're like theory crafting and grinding our brains and talking about
Yeah.
options. What I want our viewers to learn or to get and to feel from this is our opinion on certain units and how to play them, or how we put them in our lists and how we play them. Basically, you cannot. I mean, you cannot say that 5 tigers will not work. They might work. You cannot say that US lists are crap for everybody, but for me, for example, they are crap. This is the problem. I mean, and I've been a US player since, like, I mean, I only played Pulse other thing than the US at the ATC, you know, and that was because you don't have US lists in the early war. Otherwise, I would have been playing US list, and probably I'll be playing a Stuart US list at the next ATC, because hey,
Yeah.
I'm crazy enough to go for that because I know we will have plenty of mechanized units to kill with those Stuarts, you know,
Exactly.
and then hope that I won't get the big boys, and if I do, yeah, I'll have my M12s to roll my dice on the blitz. I will not take the lucky card because I don't like it. I think it's something that screws your views when you're thinking in strategy, because you always think, oh, I still have the lucky card, but that lucky card usually for me was the same dice re-rolled. I mean, when I'm re-rolling with the lucky card, I've tried the lucky card. It was the first dice once again, and then I was like, my entire
But it's
arm.
because you don't put them in the microwave like me. I have. Don't you microwave your dices like I do? I always get the dices I need.
Yeah, yeah, Scott, exactly. Lots of universal carriers to murder with the Scots, but carriers can actually murder your stewards. So don't forget about that. They are pretty mean motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, the swarms of carriers will be interesting to see when they come up.
Yeah, I mean, for example, for me in the mid war, running the stewards against the swarms of 221s and 222s American German recons, I was having a blast. You know, they were dying left and right, and it was very nice. But I also managed to kill some KVs with my Lees. You know, so that can happen. Sometimes can happen, and of course, I've been playing against players that were not so skilled. And for example, I was able to push a free platoon of KVs from the objective with my 2 infantry guys. You know, just smoke, attack from one side. He fails the counter attack, and hey, I won the game. You know, that can happen. Like you did with the armor grenadiers and the tigers, right? With the armor rifle platoon, the same thing. All right, guys. My defensive list, because we've been like going around, or how I like to play it, and I would like to show this to the stream. Of course, everybody's using D-Day. Of course, everybody's using pack fronts. Of course, everybody's using 88s, and I would definitely recommend, if you're an American player, German player, to go for even bigger than that, to have 88s and Pack 43's 88s, the anti-tank 17 ones in the same list, just to be safe. Or depends how your captain sees your list in the you know, matchup, because defensive lists could be either defensive, like a lot of quantity, a lot of bodies to kill and to delay. But from what I've learned and what I've seen at the ATC, usually those lists don't win the tournament, don't win matches. You oftenly just, you cannot push your enemy over those 8 inches from the objective, and then suddenly the time runs out because it took him a lot of time to get to your infantry.
Yeah.
What I like is, I call this Return of the Ferdi, a Fortress Europe list with Panzer Grenadier, a honest Panzer Grenadier list, no crooked dices, like no crooked cards like Greyhounds or other things. Stummels, mortars, flamethrowers, just for the fun of it, to have it as a bigger, sturdier Panzer Grenadier company. Then one platoon of 3 88s, so Pak 43s with the anti-tank 17, 2 Ferdinands, 1 platoon of 88s, normal anti-aircraft guns. This list, I think, could do a great job defending. From my perspective. Of course, I know Christian will probably criticize the fact that the Ferdinands are not on the table. He probably sees what my reserves are, or Yulu.
Yeah.
And probably he will say you need to have those Ferdinands on the table. But I think I have the option of bringing either the Panzer Grenadiers if there's like an imminent infantry rush on my objective, or if we have some heavy tanks on the objective, I can bring the Ferdinands. And can I use the Pak front card and 88 assault?
I was just about to answer that one. No idea, to be honest.
Actually, you can. The only problem is that the assault flag, you can only use it with the Beach Grenadiers, I think.
Yeah.
So you will have to have the Beach Grenadier. Where is it? Bam, 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 bam.
Guys, I'm super sorry, but I need to jump off. I need to go out with the dog and then head to bed.
Yeah, we will close it also.
It's almost 11:30 here, and I've got a long office day tomorrow as well.
We will close it up here as well. This is another list that I have on beach defense. So Lud, you're walking out right now, my friend.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to say bye.
Yeah, no problem. We'll be 10 minutes.
It's a
more,
working day tomorrow, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Take it easy, mate.
guys, take care. Thanks for everybody showing up in the chat. It
Yes.
was awesome to talk with you.
Yes.
It was great to see some new people joining as well. It was really fun. So yeah, take care, stay safe. Remember to support your local gaming stores during these times, and most of all, remember to stay on with these guys until they're finished.
Exactly. And if you are able to join me on the live stream with Rob on Saturday, more than welcome. Or otherwise, just
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. I've got some plans for the weekend, so might be a bit difficult, but yeah.
All right.
Let's see what I can do.
All right.
Take care, guys. Have a good one.
See you, my friend. See you. Yeah. So it's just me and you, Christian, and the chat now. Thank you, Lud, for being with us and keeping up with us. We will close it up also because it's working day tomorrow. This is a list with the Beach Boys, with 88s, with Pak front, and with the 77 Tank Hunter card. It's the one that downgrades the 8.8 and the assault. So the assault card, let me just check it up. I don't want to talk like exactly with the Beach Boys you can. Okay.
Yeah, but I think that Patrick is saying interesting because it stands that 88 centimeter assault flag German build force.
It's built.
Yeah.
It's actually you can use to build it to have it into your force. If it is like this tank hunter, it's called title. When you have the title, you cannot have any other title cards in your army. So basically, it's the 77th Infantry Division. It's actually what these Beach Grenadiers guys are called. the pack front, it's also a build, so you can use it as many times as you can. This is not limited, so also.
Exactly. But you cannot use it for Fortress Europe, as Søren
You
says.
cannot use, yes, you cannot use cards from Fortress of Europe, from D-Day in Fortress of Europe, and that's a pity. But yeah, this is the list. I think that you will like more or less, I don't know, Christian, with Beach Boys, with big 88s, small 88s, Tigers, and a platoon of Puma Scout Company.
Yeah.
And pretty of meat on the beach defense guys. They are rifle teams, but you have a lot of Puma Scouts to jump in and save the day with the machine gun shots. Yeah, what do you guys think?
But this is also for primary for defense, right?
Defensive, yes.
Yeah, and then I think I would harass everybody, or as much as possible with the scout company. Just go out, and if they die, they die. But I would go out and harass and delay for as long as possible, and reach turn 6 and be able to counter push him and win.
Exactly.
So I think it's actually a good list you made here, too. I think.
Exactly. It is. It is also another. You can switch it with instead of Puma Scout, you can take the other the 250 Scout, and you have 3 models in your platoons, and that's a little bit better for a defensive list. But as you said, these Pumas can punch a hole into Panthers.
Yeah, or just harass and delay, because you just have to keep focus on the mission and think I have to last until turn 6 where I counter push him and win.
Yes, yes. So this list, I think you will not be afraid against IS list. You will not be afraid to play it against British list. This is, I mean, I've built this list with a British opponent in my mind.
Yeah.
Because they don't have that much artillery except for the Avres, and then having
hunt the carriers, right? Yeah.
Yeah, having Beach Boys. Yes, having Beach Boys instead of Panzer Grenadiers will not count for that much, and you just shoot them out. I'm thinking of either using pack fronts, for example, either putting in ambush 1 platoon of infantry and having pack front of either the big 88s or the small 88s. Depends on everything, you know. This is a very situational list, and you can play it either way you want it. I've just bought this box of large Tank Hunter 8.8 guns, so probably you'll see me playing some when I'll start playing.
Freeze, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Christian, I think it's time for us to close also. Guys, thank you very much for watching and for staying with us. You can keep commenting on the video afterwards. I know me and Søren, we had a chat about some rules, about the Avres being able to assault or not. We know we had this discussion taken up to Phil on Facebook, and he said that you should bombard with all your guns and all those things, but we have to just see it on the lessons from the front. Thank you very much, guys, for staying with us. It's gotten pretty late. We've been up for 2 hours and 20 minutes and still talking and having a blast with you. Christian, any last thoughts?
No, just nice to see people interacting with each other and us on the stream and in the chat.
Yes.
And hopefully I will be able to get some games in for next session, or at least I'm gonna try and make some pictures, or at least some after action review on the 27th. Yeah, because on the 27th I'm going to a semi-large tournament in Copenhagen.
All right.
And we'll see how I fare over there. Anders from the Danish team is also going there, so hopefully we will go over and kick ass and take names and have a blast and see how it goes.
I hope you guys will fill us in on how your games went and everything. And maybe why not? I will be able to join you if the borders open, but that's very unlikely. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tune with us on Saturday when we will have a blast playing online, playing remotely, not online, but remotely, and having it live streamed on my channel at least, and probably on Rob's channel, Valley Gaming. I'm really looking forward to that game, and I hope you guys will enjoy it as well. Christian, if you are able to come, I will be expecting you to join us for the stream. And thank you everybody, and drop in your questions, and don't forget to subscribe just to know when this stream goes live, to have you on the chat with us and keep talking about everything. Thank you guys once again, and see you next time.